Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Board Games Unlocked, and Brett and I are doing a no run-through review for Transmissions, which is one of my newest Kickstarter games, and,
Is it a game? Would you classify it as a game?
I would. Here's the thing about this. As most people know, my no run-through reviews are for games we either don't like,
or there's nothing to see.
Or they're very difficult to, like, it's not going to be a fun run through.
Mm-hmm.
And also expansions.
Yeah.
Because I used to redo, like, the run through with the expansion, and it's like, nah.
Yeah.
So Transmission is one of those games that its biggest selling point is its art.
Yes.
And so the art by Matt Dixon,
Good
stellar
production quality.
Yeah, and I mean it's good production quality. The insert for the box is really good. Everything fits. It's nice, kind of like everything goes where it needs to.
Mm-hmm.
It's also not a Kickstarter game that's it doesn't have any bloat. Like it was interesting. Whenever I opened the box, I had like an epiphany of like it's so weird opening up a Kickstarter box and just taking out one thing. Instead of like hordes and hordes of expansions and trying to stall it or store it.
Right. Unfortunately,
yeah.
playing it.
It's so boring.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've debated with myself so many times on would I rather play an inherently bad game or like what's worse, an inherently bad game where you can tell that they just like really shit the bed, or a mind-numbingly boring one. And I think for me, it's the boring ones are the worst because because at least a bad one, you're distracted and
By criticizing it?
Yeah, by criticizing it, or you're laughing,
Or you're thinking of improvements.
yeah. So you're engaged with how bad it is,
Right.
and it's kind of like watching Sharknado or something where it's like, oh, this is so bad, but I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
Versus watching some dumb shit like Red Riding Hood, and you're like, this is a nothing movie. And this is kind of a nothing game, at least for me. There are elements of this game that I could see being put into other games that
Right.
would improve upon them.
Right.
But here, it's like, with how cute it is, like, I love the molds for the 4 different robots. Yeah. Like, they have some personality. It's adorable. This is the cutest box I've ever seen.
Yeah. It's got a nice, lovely meadow in the middle.
Yeah, but you do nothing with it. This really could be any theme.
Yeah.
Like, it's incredibly pasted on, and...
Oh, it's fully abstract. I mean, the theme of each area has nothing to do with what happens there.
Right. Well, technically, you get forest cards. The only one that does make sense is the power generator, because you get lightning.
Yeah.
You get power cubes. This could be such a cool idea, like, because you have your own individual player board that allows you to modify the robots, and initially it sounds like it's going to be a really cool concept. It's like, hey, it's a new take on worker placement.
Yeah, and
and it is.
I like the concept.
Yeah,
I do like the idea of shared workers.
Right.
And the not deck builder, but the randomness of which ones you can utilize.
Yeah.
Problem is, all that inhibits any level of strategy.
Exactly. We played the game. I totally forgot what it was, but it was me, you, and Zach, and it was that Cyberpunk game where we tried to strategize, but like we had to you moved a person, so it's like, okay, well now I can't strategize.
Right.
What was that? I don't remember what that game was called. In Too Deep.
Yes.
Okay. Where any level of strategy was out the window because you're able to move, workers way out of my range or something. So it's like, okay, I can't do anything. This one isn't as exaggerated as that.
Yeah, because it's just a simple track.
Yeah. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many spaces? 2, 4, 6, 7. So 7 spaces. So 14 total steps.
Yes.
That, I mean, it's not even that much because you skip over robots to get there. So, I mean, yeah, the yellow one, it's like it's its slowest, but it has the highest track, so you get the most points if you fill it out. But you share the workers, and over the course of the game, you can get ideas. And the game comes with a decent amount of different stacks
Yep.
of ideas that is meant to be variety, but it's like
replayable.
it's like oh whatever, you know, like
If you can tolerate it, it is
well,
replayable.
That's the thing. It's like if the stacks had a theme, like so you can kind of change. Hey, if you want to play a really aggressive game or whatever, then choose H, K, and L or whatever.
Yep.
But not really. It's just kind of like, oh, okay, well, this is just what it is, and shuffle them together and put them out. But it's like, what I did is I got yellow, out, and I was able to, it was the slowest moving one, so I gave it 2 extra movement, and I also gave it the ability to go forward or backward.
Right.
So you can have some customization, and that's the only interesting thing about this game is that, okay, yes, we all move yellow, but I might want to move him more because I get something out of it. Or he does something different, but ultimately, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, yellow was my coolest one, but it wasn't even cool. It was like, ooh, he can move faster. Mm-hmm. You do the same thing.
Yeah.
Over and over and over. And the game is like...
There's a little bit of resource management, but not
Yeah.
enough to make it strategic.
No, I mean, because really at any given time, I mean, with the top decking of forest cards, like, you're really always able to kind of get what you want, and then it's just like, oh, okay, well, no.
Yeah, there's enough, like, in the pipes, there's enough variety that you probably got whatever resources you need to get something,
Yeah.
even if it's not what you really want.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's like, the pipes are my biggest complaint, because it's like, what it should be is, because you know how you get extra points for your longest thing? You should also only be able to score them that way.
Right.
Because otherwise, just go here and get pipes.
There are a lot of there are a lot of points all by themselves.
Yeah.
And then when you string them along, you get bonus.
Yeah, it's like 7, 8, or 9 points. They're relatively simple to go get. And then it's like, I mean, you 51 points off that alone. And, I mean, really, your only sense of points came from pipes.
Yep.
And then you happen to fill out one robot. And if we look at Cat and I's, we're in everything.
Yeah.
Like, I had 3 robots filled out. Points from forest cards, points from ideas. And it still wasn't enough.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, here's the meta. Go get pipes.
Yeah.
And it's not even a matter of, oh, well, people need to compete against you. It doesn't matter. Just go and grab them. They're 7, 8, or 9 points. And I just don't like that.
Plus a bonus of 15 or 20.
Yeah, if you really want to, string them along and have like one massive path.
That wasn't hard to do. Actually, I had 2 decently long paths.
Yeah.
If I built them together, I would have gotten a lot more.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, I mean, because the scores were still close. Like in this latest game, 67, 62, and 62.
Right.
And funny enough, I had like the 2 green cubes and the white to be able to get that one that blocked off, which I think it was worth 9. That was actually the difference maker between first and last. And it's like, oh, dang, you got there before me. Well, nothing I can do about that. And this game can be weirdly cutthroat about in the slightest
Well, it
sense.
feels that way because you did something that screwed me. You didn't mean to. You didn't know it.
Yeah.
But,
by moving.
But I've got one plan.
Yeah.
Fuck, I can't do it now.
Right.
Well,
it's
let me have
also-
a backup plan.
Yeah. Well, it's also like, oh, okay, I saw how you moved your how you moved the robots to get those very specific resources. Luckily, it's my turn. I also have those resources. I'm going to move there and just take that from you.
Right.
And it's like, okay.
Or the toaster thing.
Yeah, the toaster thing where you could just be like, oh, I'm just going to run up to that area, the idea area, and just grab that idea just to wipe the toaster if anyone was going to try and get a collection going.
And we actually talked about it. We couldn't do it.
Right, right. I mean, even when the ball came out, that was going to get you 16 points.
And I didn't even notice.
Well, because it came out and I was like, because I was waiting for it, because I'm like, well, I can't let him get 16 points. I was gonna, but then it comes out. It was at the bottom of the deck, and so if you're betting on that to show up, and it shows up at the very end, and you're like, okay, great, they're all over there. I can't even go get it. Why did I play this game? Like, why am I trying to maximize off these points? Because whenever Cat ended it, it was like, oh, we get one more turn each. Fuck it. There's really nothing
Do we
can
have
do.
to?
Yeah. I mean, I literally was like, and I hate stuff like this. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the forest and see if I can pull points off
The
the
only
top.
way you can possibly get points.
Yeah.
for
And I did.
nothing.
And it was like, oh, lucky me.
And I didn't.
Yeah, and you got 2 of the exact same cards. And there was a game that came out, I think it was last year, called Dwellings of Elder Vale. That was a lot of that, of just top decking points. And what's the Panda one about the
Takedoko?
irrigation? Does the same thing. You top deck objective cards. It's like, oh man, lucky me, fulfilled that. I don't like points that way.
Right.
I don't mind point salad games where everything you do gives you points, but you have to work at least for those.
Right.
Oh, hey, I mean, not all of them. Sometimes it's like, oh, I drew a card. That's the point. But just flat out no strategy and just, hey, 3 points. It
agree.
just leaves a sour taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
So the fact that this game is, well, one, this would be fine if this was a for sure 30-minute game, and it is an hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I mean, then you'd have at least some, like
I don't think it's intended to be that long. What does it say?
45 minutes.
Yeah.
I think is
Yeah.
what Kat said.
The problem is, I'm trying
I don't
to
know
accomplish
where she saw that,
something.
but-
You guys move them, and I didn't draw the cards I need to do what I want to do.
Hmm.
So on my turn, I've got to figure out the next best thing, and everybody has to wait.
Yeah.
And so that's what happens every turn. Is everybody's waiting for somebody to figure out what their second choice is.
Yeah. I don't like... So everyone has the same 7 cards. It's dependent on if just how they're initially shuffled. Because what I do like about the 7 cards is you don't have a discard pile. Like, so you can start memorizing, okay, my red should be coming up.
Yeah.
But you have 1 card in each deck for each of the robots, and then you have 3 cards corresponding to the places on the board.
Yeah.
I hate these. I hate these so much because it's like,
Yeah.
oh well, there's no like I want to get over to the pipe area. Okay, well I can't. Okay, none of these robots I have in my hand can make it, and the card that I have is for areas that there are no robots in.
Or they're too far away. I guess.
So I guess I'll just waste my turn and move the green there
Yeah.
and get a useless 2 white. I don't need white.
Yeah.
I don't need blue. Okay. Can't tell you how many turns or how many times it was just like I knew exactly what I just wanted to do because it didn't matter. Cat goes and I'm like, move it. Okay, here's my energy. Put this to the bottom. Draw a card. And I understand that this game's it's not for me. Like, this is definitely very Gateway-esque. It's mind-numbingly simple, so maybe it's intended for kids.
Yeah. Maybe that's the only thing I can think of. It's like, it's definitely a higher complexity than Candyland.
Sure. Yeah, and that's the thing, is like I can never tell like what games are good for kids, mainly because I don't have any. So I don't buy games that are intended for kids.
Yeah.
So then these games come out and it's like, okay, it's not a party game. It's not a
It's too complex to be a simple throwaway,
Yeah.
having fun, but it's not strategic enough to actually
to be an hour long.
compelling and to hold attention or to want to strategize between turns.
Yeah. Because I thought for sure, I was like, okay, like, you like the more straightforward games, and then Kat likes, games with, like, art like this. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe it's just me. And when I'm bored out of my mind and not liking it, and both of you are the same way, it's like, oh, no. The art's not keeping Kat in the game, and the actions are too dull, so Brett's not enjoying it.
You know what? I got it. And I've got friends who I think would enjoy this game because this is a game that you don't play. This is a game that you talk
Yeah.
and you chat, and then every once in a while you look at your cards and you go, okay, I'm going to do this.
Sure. I've never...
An hour and a half where 30 minutes is actual gameplay.
Yeah.
And I know people who play games that way, and they might enjoy this. Because
Maybe.
it doesn't take thought.
It really doesn't. But that's the other thing is, like, maybe this is a generation thing. It's like, I can just sit down and just talk with my friends. I don't need this to be at the center of it.
Yeah.
It's just like, no, I mean, I've sat at this table and talked to people for hours, and there wasn't a game being played. We just happened, oh, games are over.
Yeah.
I thought you were leaving, but it's like, oh man, we could have played another game.
Yeah.
But we sat around and talked.
Yeah.
It's here's the thing, is like these games are so hard to review because it's like it's not inherently bad.
Right.
There's just nothing to it. There's no substance.
Yeah.
Empty calories.
Yeah, it's not like there's a flaw
Right.
It's that the entire premise just doesn't come together.
Right. And we were talking about another game that we played recently that did have inherent flaws, but we had more fun playing it than we did this one. And it's like, okay, well, that one is, I mean, spoilers, I mean, I'm going to give this one a higher rating than that one, but that's just because of just how I rate games.
Yeah.
Like, that one actually had problems, yet I was less miserable playing it than I was here.
Right.
And
Reading
that's
the
just-
game, not your personal experience.
Right.
Got it.
So, I don't know. It's whatever. Like, it's
But again,
whatever.
I think the concept has promise about shared workers and about limited ability to utilize them at any given time. This is not an execution that works.
Yeah, because that's the thing is like, you get items that fill up your slots. So you use items; those are your other ways of getting points. You can do really good set collection, and that fills up your your robots quicker.
Yeah.
But you're not getting ideas. Well, who really cares when ideas don't get you points? Like, the end of the
Yeah.
game is all about points. So it's like, why wouldn't I just bum rush for items? One, that's going to end the game quicker. Two, if I can get 3 pairs of socks, that would be 24 points.
Yeah.
And on top of the fact that if I get 2 pairs of socks and I put one in my green slot and then get, another one that fills up the secondary, part of the green slot, so that's 16 points on top of 6, so it's 22 points already. And my green is, he doesn't do anything. I can still move him,
Yep.
but he doesn't have anything special. And so then I sit there and go, oh, no, I didn't get any ideas. But the ideas kind of suck. That's the thing. They're not exciting. They're not game... and the rules are like, they break the game.
No.
Technically. Hey, I move them and I get a lightning.
Yeah.
Oh, I can swap spaces. Okay.
Oh, they're not that powerful. They're just simple.
Yeah, it's not like they're talking about like Voyages of Marco Polo, where everyone has a special ability that does break the game,
Right.
or it's not Cosmic Encounter, but with robots, where it's like, damn, that's your ability. Like, never once while playing this game were we like, whoa,
Yeah.
that's a cool. I didn't even see that combo.
I mean, even the card that lets you take an extra turn
yeah,
anytime you want.
yeah,
I'm like, this could be really great, and I wasted it by using it too early.
sure,
But the other thing is going for ideas. It occurs to me filling up robots with ideas, which are an extra things to consider,
yeah,
is going to slow the turn down even more.
right,
If I can move that one, then I can do this, and I can do this. And But if I move that one,
yeah. You get the most.
and then I can't move them.
You get the most basic engines for them.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, if I activate this one, that gives me 2 lightning, which I can then use to get a green.
Yes.
Whoa! That's the best thing I've ever fucking seen.
And then if I get
Magic
3 greens-
combos, dog shit compared to what my yellow robot can do.
Yeah.
And like you said, the concept of my yellow robot does something different than everyone else's. That's cool. If they could take that idea and expand it into a heavy strategy engine building game, like where there's a lot more going on, like that concept with like a Mind Clash game would be amazing. It'd be amazing for me.
It would be.
Because, I mean, if you can get some really cool engine buildings, but people still share the workers. So, if you have ways to really accentuate the fact that, oh, this is what my worker does, that is, like, let's say we all had, like, our yellow worker completely filled out, but it's like, mine does something so drastically different from yours.
Yeah.
It's a very cool idea, but boiled down to like a nothing game.
Yeah.
And that's what actually upsets me, because it's like that's a cool concept I haven't seen before. We've seen the concept of shared workers,
Yeah.
but they're in better games. Well, maybe not. In Too Deep kind of suck too. Yeah. And then you have pipes that are the meta. Like, I don't know, and it's also annoying that the higher level points, the ones that are like there's no variety. These are just randomly shuffled and placed. So the 9 pointers, it's like okay, it's still 3 cubes.
Yeah.
Why isn't 9 points 4 or 5? Why can't 7 points be 3 cubes and then 8 points is 4 and 9 points is 5?
Yeah.
You can hold 7, so that really makes you have to start strategizing on getting your workers to certain spots, because it's like there's a 9-pointer out there, it's 2 blue, a yellow, green, and white. That's a lot of you getting around, and that might actually make you take certain ideas and move a worker that you can then move him and spend a bunch of lightning to then get those exact cubes and then be like, boom, here I go.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you can't do that in this, but it's just so easy to just be like, oh, 9 points, yay me.
You know what's interesting? We're way more engaged talking about the game than playing.
Right, because it's like we like the concept of what they had here,
Yeah.
but yeah, it has to be for kids or something. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's got the feel of a gateway game. But
does.
again, I think it's
with these cards being in play and trying to figure out how you move them,
definitely not for strategy gamers.
no. And I just don't know who it's for, because you're gonna want. I mean, this box alone, that art is it's so adorable. But then you go to play the game and you're like, oh, that's not really depicted here.
Yeah.
Rules wise, it is, where it's like, hey, you actually multiply birds and butterflies. Why? That's just because he's wanting.
Well,
he has a butterfly on his finger.
That's a balancing act, so you're supposed to get both items and
Right.
pipes,
Right, because there's a multiplier.
which would have changed things a bit if I had, first of all, realized it, and second of all, had the resources to be able to actually do anything about it.
Yeah, by 30 minutes in, I was like, this game should be over.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not, and that's another thing. Whenever you expect a game to be over and it outstays its welcome. So yeah, cute game. I mean, 9 out of 10 on cover art. I think it's super adorable.
Yeah.
But it's not in this game. Not that I didn't expect this to be like a campaign storytelling game,
No.
but I expected kind of, more robot shit going on.
Right.
Not just 4 different things that really don't matter.
Yeah.
Like, the only thing that's different about them inherently is their movement, and 2 of them are even the same.
Yep.
So, I don't know. Another COVID game, I guess.
Maybe.
I think, yeah, if COVID's been going on for 2 years, yeah, it was definitely within that. There's Kickstarter exclusives, but if you're watching this, you don't have the Kickstarter game, that doesn't really matter. They're short, mini things. Like,
A couple extra cards or something.
there's pipe forest cards that if you have your pipes in a certain order, you get victory points. Like this. If you had your pipes in that order, you get an extra 5 points.
Wow.
The acorn thing I thought was fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Like, oh, if you have the least, you get 5 points. Okay, well,
Whoever
that's...
used the forest the least and got the least benefit out of it.
Yeah. If you just went there, like, if anyone went there and was like, oh, I'm using this one that gives me an extra turn, well, that's 3 acorns. So if someone knows you did that, then all they have to do is just be like, okay, I'm just going to take this one that's 1 acorn. And it's like, okay, now I am guaranteed 5 points.
Yeah, but
Like-
that's also... That's not a game-breaking score.
No, it's not. I mean, it was just an extra 5 points, but it's like, why is that there?
Well, and the more I think about it, the more we talk about it, the more I think they did a lot of good work to balance things out and to make you want to do all of this stuff instead of just automatically going for one area, which happened to work out for me. But it just doesn't come together as a playable game.
No, and that's what I agree with.
And that's disappointing.
Well, actually, slightly disagree with what you said, because there's a lot of stuff that's in here. You said that to make you want to do it. I didn't want to do any of it.
Well, okay.
Because it wasn't
You're
exhilarating. It wasn't
supposed
fun.
to be balanced, and you're supposed
And
to...
I mean, I wouldn't say this game is unbalanced.
Yeah.
Like, it was a 5-point swing. Like, that's...
Yeah.
I mean, that was one pipe tile for me being able to get. If Cat ended the game in any area where I had, a yellow cube. If I happen to have a yellow cube at that time, it's like, oh, lucky. I mean, but that's the other thing, and it's kind of annoying, because it comes down to, oh, lucky me. Not, did I out-strategize you? No, it's just, okay, well, Cat ended the game. I'm able to move there. I have a yellow. I can buy this. I now won.
Yeah. There's not enough resource management for that to be strategic.
This doesn't boil down to in a game where it's like, does my strategy, is it better than yours?
Right.
It comes down to luck of the pipes, right place, right time, and then luck of the items.
And just drawing the right cards to be able to capitalize on it all.
Right. So that is Transmissions. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give it?
I see the possibilities enough that I'll go as high as 4.
Ooh, as high as 4.
Yeah.
This is one of those games. There was a game that came out.
You be you. You don't have to be influenced by me and my high score.
No. Because it's like, well, so what I was gonna say was there was a game that came out a while back called Dice Settlers.
Yep.
And it was such a nothing game that I remember watching Dice Tower talk about it, and Z Garcia was like, I don't even want to score this because it's so nothing. This game doesn't need to exist. Like, the fact that he seemed more mad that they were sitting down to review it, because it's like, all I feel is that I wasted time. Like, I gained or lost nothing in this experience.
Right.
And that's kind of the same feeling I get here, where it's like for all intents and purposes, just by ranking it, I should just give it a flat 5. It's just right in the middle. This is a game that has been produced.
Yeah.
But I'm more annoyed the more we talked about it, just kind of some little instances. But it is counteracted by at least a cool concept, and I'll give it an extra point for an art, so I'm going to keep it at a flat 5. Okay. I agree with your 4, but I'll give it an extra point because the cover art, they got me. Matt Dixon. I'm going to find him at Gen Con if he's there and beat him up. No, that's not true. Be like, your art is so cute! So
Just do art. Don't do games.
Yeah, make a comic.
Yeah.
Like, do a graphic novel with this art.
This begs for story.
Yeah. Like, and that's the
this
thing.
This picture alone has story all over it,
and
I want to know what it is.
Right. Incorporate it into a game that this could have easily been like maybe like an Aftermath kind of game. This is still in Shrink. But like a Plaid Hat where this is a story-driven experience. You could have easily had that centered around these robots if he gave them personality or anything like that.
Yeah.
But it's
the fact that they're robots, it doesn't even enter into it.
Right. No, not at all. There's
no reason for robots to be wandering around like this collecting stuff.
I know. Yeah. So it's such a disappointment. But that's Transmissions. Let us know what you think of the game in the comments below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you would like to see more of my content, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I upload any new content. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can go ahead and click that Patreon link to be taken to my Patreon, and any help is truly appreciated. Other than that, stick around for any other run-throughs or reviews or cool top 10s or whatever I feel like putting on. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.